Doing good. Alright, so first thing is, please state your name and where you're from.
My name is Eva Marie King. I am from South Bronx, New York, but I grew up in SouthSide Jamaica, Queens. I began MCing as MC Juiccy back in 1977. Started rhyming in 1976, and I started studying DJing in 1973 in Southside Jamaica, Queens.
Now, let's talk about what we were talking about earlier as far as like where you grew up, your parents, where they came from, as far as like where you grew up. Like how did you end up in Queens?
Well, I was born in South Bronx, and I was raised in Southside Jamaica, Queens, near 169th Street and 118th Avenue. That's near Merrick Boulevard. My parents were both from the South. They migrated from the South in the 40s. They settled in Jamaica, Queens in the 50s, and they became homeowners in what is the first black middle class in New York City, which is Jamaica, Queens. Just in case y'all don't know that, I came into music from both of my parents. My mother encouraged me to sing in the Glee Club, play the guitar in the guitar club back in my school, Edward Kennedy Ellington School. I also played the saxophone at Catherine and Count Basie Junior High School, which is IS 72. My dad always brought records home, James Brown, the Jackson 5. This is a very musical community for those that don't know. St. Albans, Queens, which is right next to Jamaica, Queens, is home of a lot of the great jazz legends, like James Brown had a house, Count Basie had a house, Ella Fitzgerald, Billie Holiday. So music has always been in our community with bands and singers. For me, MCing and DJing was just part of the community. So DJing, I learned from Robert Davis. His name is The Genie, aka DJ Rob, in January of 1973. This is before I knew anything about hip hop, or that term wasn't even coined yet. He came to my house with 2 turntables, records, and I'm like, what is he going to do? Because before him, I did the DJing as a young girl when I was 6 and 7, when my older sisters had house parties, like they call them red light parties or blue light parties. I would play the music. I would hold the 45s and play the 45s, sit next to the record player. DJ Rob came and he brought his 2 turntables and records, and I was like, what is that? So me and my brother, Mark, snuck into the party, and we hid under the table and watched him DJing, and I was hooked. I was like, I have to be a DJ, and that was January 1973. So I watched him play at block parties and house parties, and I just watched and learned what DJing was about. Also in 1975, I watched Cypher of Sounds. That's DJ Divine and DJ Cypher Sounds, the original DJ Cypher Sounds. I watched them, and then 76, 77, my crew got together, got equipment, and that's when I learned how to DJ. But I stuck to MCing. That's what really, really stuck. My friends loved to hear me MC, so that's where MCing came from.
Who was your crew, and how did you guys form?
My crew was actually my friends. You know, it wasn't like some put together group. They were actually my friends that came to my house, and we played pity pat for quarters, and we played spades, and you know, we ate peanut butter and jelly sandwiches together. Like, they hung out at my house. In about 76, 77, we all decided we were going to form a crew. So Waylon Gillian, his name was DJ Mr. Nice, Kevin Mapp, DJ CC, and DJ Mike D, Michael Strong, got their equipment together, and we started battling a crew called CBS in Baisley Park houses. It was over an argument that the brothers had, DJ CC and DJ Nice had with DJ Marksky one summer day, and that's when the battle started. So we would take our equipment to Baisley Projects behind Building 1, and the CBS would bring their equipment and try to blow us out. DJ Deacon, whose name is James Anderson, he's now in North Carolina, he was one of the older DJs from the community. He would go get like his Vegas, like 2 Vegas and a whole rack of amps and bring it up to help us win the battle. So we always had more equipment. We were very young. Like I was 11, 12 back in 1977. The DJs were like 13 and 14. But we were so talented and we never lost a battle.
This is DJ battling, right?
We call it DJ battling, but it was mostly DJing. Guys would be out there from like 12 noon to 12 at night. I would come on and MC, and there were other MCs, MC Wild D, and there were a lot of MCs, D-Rock, that would come on and MC during the course of the jam. This is before records, of course. This is 1977, 78. This was before records when we were battling in the park. So it was what we call the DJ battle, but the MCs would come on and MC because the DJs would just hold it down all day.
Who were some of the first DJs that you saw in the parks?
Some of the first DJs I saw in parks would have to be in 1973, 1974, the Disco Brothers Connection. A brother by the name of Kevin James. He was known as DJ LeVar. Shout out to Kevin James. Another brother by the name of Richard. They called him the boy with the golden voice. He was an MC. And this is like 1973, 1974 in St. Albans Park. And I was like 7, 8, 9 years old. And my sister, her nickname was Putt Putt. She was a hustler. So she hustled. She did the New York hustle. Y'all might call it the New York hustle, but she did the hustle really good. So she would be out in St. Albans Park hustling, and Disco Brothers Connection would play a famous song called Love is the Message, and they'd play it for like a half hour, and she would be hustling with some of the best hustlers, and I would be sitting on the grass, just watching, and that was fun for us back then. You could jam in the parks at any time. You didn't have to have a permit. You can go there, and we would have park jams at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. And that's when I became acclimated to the Park Jam DJs, to Cypher Sounds, to Disco Brothers Connection. And then, years later, me and my crew started doing Park Jams.
Now, who were some of the first MCs that you saw?
Some of the first MCs I saw, I would have to say Spank from Cypher Sounds DJs. He DJed with Cypher Sounds about summer of 1975. I saw him at St. Albans Park, and he was outstanding. Another MC I have to give props to would be MC SPUD. He's from South Jamaica. He's like, I call him the original Southside MC. He was like phenomenal. And he's from like the early 70s. Also other MCs from a club called the Fantasia. There was a DJ Woodywood. He also MC'd too. There was controversy with DJ Woodywood. A lot of people said, oh, he bit Hollywood's rhymes. And he did bite some of his rhymes if you ever heard his record, but he was a house DJ at the Fantasia. The Fantasia was the first hip-hop club in Jamaica, Queens, and him and his brother Disco Kid were phenomenal MCs. Sure Shot, phenomenal. There were so many MCs and DJs back then, but these are some of the MCs that made an impact on me. In later years when I went to Bronx River and I started hanging out in Bronx River houses, I saw MC Sha Rock, I saw Queen Lisa Lee, I saw the Mercedes Ladies, so they influenced me sometime after. But truly, as an MC, I didn't know how to MC, I didn't know how to write rhymes. I was an honor student, and I would just write essays and poems that rhyme because I couldn't figure out how these kids were writing these rhymes. It sounded like a whole bunch of fragmented sentences to me. So I would listen to Hollywood tapes, DJ Hollywood, and I just started writing Langston Hughes poems, Nikki Giovanni poems, Maya Angelou poems, and then I got the rhythm of how to write an essay that rhymed. And that's how I started writing my rhymes. To this day, I write poems and they rhyme. So I never really, learned how to write fragmented poems, but my friends was like, oh, that sounds good, so keep doing it. And my homegirls liked it, so I just kept doing it.
Nice. All right, so you had the crew, you guys linked up, your friends. And what was the crew called? My crew girls, we were the 169th Street Crew Girls. The whole neighborhood crew that hung out on 169th Street in Foch. We informally called ourselves the 169th Street Crew. DJ Mr. Nice and DJ CC were Fantasy Disco. Mike D and his DJs were Eminem Crew. But collectively, we were the 169th Street Crew. We were just friends. We hung on the block. We played two-hand touch. We played Johnny on the Pony. I mean, we were teenagers. But when we went to battle, we battled to represent our homeboys. So me and my homegirls
we would get the shirts with the iron-on letters, you know, that said Fly Girl and 169th Street Crew had our nickname on it. And we go make up dances and we go to the jams and we would represent for our homeboys because it was a neighborhood effort. So